the Latino Free Minds podcast, your home for bold conversations grounded in faith and fueled by a passion for truth. I'm fired up today because we're continuing something truly special, our Know Your Candidate series, where we're sitting down with the men and women who want to represent you and lead our communities here in California. Let me tell you something straight from the heart. California, our beautiful golden state, is worth fighting for. It's worth saving. Packing up and leaving? That's not who we are. We're a people of resilience, of hope, and of unwavering faith, and we're not giving up on this place we call home. Here at Latino Free Minds, we're rooted in our Christian values: faith, hope, and charity. These aren't just words to us, they're the guiding light for how we live, how we love, and how we lead. Over the next year, we're bringing you face to face with candidates who want to shape California's future. Our mission? To dig deep, ask the tough questions, and give you the clarity you need to make the best choice for your family, your community, and your faith. This isn't about politics as usual. It's about finding leaders who share our values, who see California not just as a state, but as a home filled with families, dreams, and God-given potential. We believe that when you listen to these conversations, you'll be empowered to vote with your heart and your conscience, grounded in the principles that matter most: faith in God, hope for a better tomorrow, and charity towards one another. California's future is in our hands, and together we can choose a path that honors our families, strengthens our communities, and reflects the love and truth we hold dear. So grab a seat, open your heart, and join us for these powerful Know Your Candidate episodes. Let's shine a light, lift our voices, and show the world that California is worth fighting for. Stay with us. This is going to be a journey you don't want to miss.
What's up? It didn't switch or something. Did I say stuck there?
The technical difficulties continue. Jeez, man.
Oh man, how you been, bro?
Good, good. Can you still hear that echo,
Uh,
or is it good
no,
now?
it went away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Doing good. Lost. I haven't been keeping up with a lot of things. There's so much going on. I'm about ready to throw the towel in. I'm not like I don't care no more. You?
Yeah, it's been going. Um, I don't know, man. I think those. I don't know. Like sometimes I guess a break is needed
Yeah. It's
because
overwhelming.
yeah, it's a lot, man. Like we're trying to put as much useful information out there, right? But sometimes it just seems to just do that. And you know
It's
i
not.
I haven't made a clip in, like, I think this is the second week. I'll probably get back at it on Monday. But yeah, man, it's like, I guess sometimes you need a break because it's a lot to keep up with. And you know sometimes I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I think that's the way that I would explain it. It's overwhelming. There's a lot going on, and um, we don't do this to make an income, so it's not like we're faking something to monetize it or anything like that. Like it's a job basically, but aside from our everyday life and work, it's there's a lot going on, and I kind of just let go, lost track of a lot of things going on. But not to say that it's not important, but it's overwhelming. Going back to that point.
Yeah, no, it does become a lot, so I took a couple weeks off of making content. I've still been doing the podcast. I did the show last week with Sam Galucci. So he's running for Congress down there in Ventura. He's a pretty good guy. I like that conversation. He We were talking about immigration and kind of the ideas he had to fix the issue. Because one thing we both agreed on is the representation we've had in the past. Just kind of they're playing ping pong with the situation, right? Democrats are promising a road to citizenship, and then Republicans are gonna deport everybody, but neither end up happening, and we just end up with more people in the country. So technically, the Democrats are winning that battle, right? And just things, ideas to to move the situation towards an actual, what do you call it, solution.
Mhm.
I think one of the last times we really talked was talking about starting the conversation when kind of people still are going against Bianco because he wants citizenship for all illegal. It's like, bro, that's not what he said. Just, you know what I mean? So and that's what I was telling Sam. It's like you get your both sides, the sides that want everybody in, the sides that say deport them all, and then you try to talk about something in the middle that might make sense. And now you're drowned out by these two idiots on either side that just don't want to listen. And it's like, okay, well, we just end up where we are here. And like I said, all that's happening is we're getting more and more people in. So nothing, you know, there's no real solution, and we're just might as well just open it up.
Yeah, I mean, what was his suggestion at the end of it? I mean, just to, you know,
He
cut
was
to
talking,
the.
yeah, he was talking about, there's a lot of people, especially the people that have been here, 10, 15, 20 years and have been working, like, no government assistance, none of that, but have been working, not committing any other crimes. They're essential because work that a lot of people are doing. So,
I don't know if your audio is cutting out.
oh, you hear me?
Now, yeah, now I can.
I don't know. He was saying something about, maybe something where we do something so that they can work these because they do jobs that,
It's doing it again.
oh
That's
man,
weird.
technical difficulties. Can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, just maybe he was saying about like helping people with work visas. At
Hmm.
least that, doesn't make them citizens, but and it doesn't allow them to vote. But at least they don't have to live in fear of being deported when
Yeah.
they're doing work that is necessary, agriculture, hospitality, stuff like that. And it's like, okay, that I can see that. And he was also saying, people that got here the last 5 years during Biden, you know, that those people, gotta go,
Yeah.
which is reasonable to me too.
Yeah. No, well, I'm gonna tell you one thing right now is before Trump, I had the left and the right, Republicans and Democrats, as you know, as one party.
Mhm.
We're right back to that same spot now with everything that's going.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
telling you, man. I sent you guys that message earlier. Um, I just see right now conservatives falling for the wrap up smear, but on their side. That's what I see.
yeah, and that's exactly why I'm saying, the left and the right, it's a serpent with two heads.
Hmm.
We're right back to that, and the hope that I had, with Trump, um, was, he was actually independent, and bringing back conservative values to um, the Republican Party. But hey,
Yeah, I mean that's oh man, that's because I don't know, like sometimes I go, okay, yeah, it's obviously better. He's better than Kamala, right? I want to think that, but it's like it's getting to the point where it's like And the thing that sucks is you can't question anything, dude. Like, now we're the side that doesn't question anything. If we start asking questions, people like Dan Bongino, who should have been in there doing the stuff that we voted for, is now podcasting again and calling people black pill just for asking questions, or for like, hey, why are we doing this? This is not what we voted for.
Hmm.
Now we're black pilled. Now people like that are, you know, tearing MAGA apart. It's like, no, man, just for a lot of us, you know, a lot of people like to blame Tucker, Candace, uh, whoever, people like that. But it's like, dude, I I don't really listen to them. You know what I mean? I'll tune in if they got like a good guest or a guest that I want to listen to. But for the most part, it's like most people questioning what's going on isn't because of what Candace and Tucker are saying. It's because what we voted for and what's actually happening. And we said it on election night. It's like, if the House and the Senate don't do what we voted for, we're gonna be in where we are now, because that's exactly what's happening. It's they're not moving anything. I don't know what they're doing.
No, and then you've got Trump and what's that warmonger? Damn it,
Lindsey Graham, that
Lindsey
bitch.
Graham. If they're you know walking in lockstep, dude, that I mean that's a really bad sign. That's a
Yeah.
horrible sign, and that's what's happening. That's
Hmm.
what's going on right now.
Hmm.
You know.
It's crazy because I think I when that started going down, when he kind of started going against Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's like, and being more in line with Lindsey Graham, it's like, dude, like in 2020 when all this stuff went down with the attack on the Capitol and all that shit, like Lindsey Graham was one of the first ones to like turn on him, you know? And it's like, now all of a sudden, Lindsey, he's an opportunist. I think we said it many times on here. He sees an opportunity. Somehow he has Trump on his side now somehow, and here we are. So I don't
Yeah.
know, man. It's like we're doing the attack, or what do they call it, strikes in Iran. It's not a war; it's just strikes.
Hmm.
We haven't really talked about that. Like? I honestly, man, like I've kind of talking about what we've been talked about earlier. It's like I'm kind of checked out of stuff,
Yeah.
um, especially federally, because I feel like nothing's happening, and I don't know.
What we see is that we see the same playbook being applied. Um, voter integrity. I mean, we were optimistic that something's being done about it. Time is passing by. There's nothing really significant unless I'm missing something.
Well, the
You know,
Save Act, they have it in the Senate, and it's been there for I don't know how long, probably like a month now. They're just not passing for voter ID, citizen registration for federal elections. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know.
I don't know, man. There's so many crazy things about Venezuela, Iran, China, with all those countries with the Dominion machines. I mean, I looked into that history, and Venezuela created it, but they had to make it look like it was something legit, and they
Hmm.
passed it through different countries. I believe. I mean, I could be wrong about this. I mean, there's several countries: I'm sorry, Korea, um, China, like I said, and passing it off as they created it, so that it's kind of like washing money,
Hmm.
laundering money, so that you can trace it back where it came from, but it actually came from Venezuela, and that's how their dictator kept getting elected over and over and over. Basically, they were determining what the outcomes were going to be,
Hmm.
and there's just so much going on, man. Like I said, it's exhausting. It's a lot, and people that jump off and start talking about things as a matter of fact that they know, like what's going on in Iran and stuff like that. Um, it's a joke.
Yeah.
I hold myself back from saying what my opinion is about that, because there is so much going on. Like, some at one point we have to acknowledge and go, there's so many moving parts. Like,
Hmm.
we don't know what the hell's going on. Everybody can give their opinion. I'm getting a haircut, and I hear someone talking about, oh yeah, we're just in there to take the oil. Yeah, that's part of it. you know
Hmm.
um, One of the things that I can tell you that I don't like is that our tax dollars continue to go to fund military operations, whether we're directly involved or not.
Hmm.
And I'm not okay with that.
Hmm.
People defend it. Oh, this is not going to be a forever war. Well, we're in another war.
We're over there again.
Yeah. And if people do their homework and they know the history of the petrodollar, which I think that that's like the root cause of everything that happens in the Middle East. They have to control, the petroleum that's being purchased, and it has to be purchased by the dollar, because the dollar is no longer backed by gold. It's backed by the petrodollar. That's what makes the dollar strong. Look it up. I believe it's 1972. Nixon took us off of the gold standard, and they had to replace the gold standard with something, and it's the petrodollar. Look it up. And then there's people that, I get it. All these dictators and stuff like that. They're horrible people. They don't deserve to be in those positions. But if someone comes into our country and takes out our president and all the positions that lead up to the president, next in line, and they're all being taken out, what in the world? I mean, what would we do?
Yeah.
What would we think as citizens? We'd be okay. Oh well, yeah, that dude needed to die, and we're
Hmm.
gonna be okay with it. That's like an insult to our intelligence.
Hmm.
And I don't know. Some people have different. I mean, obviously, people have different opinions, and they're entitled to that. But for me, you talked about Kamala. Kamala, if she would have been worse than Trump, or Trump better than Kamala, or whatever the case may be, I'll tell you one thing. I think we would be in the same spot right now.
Yeah.
We'd be
And I
in
think
a war.
I think that's why, like, for some of us, that's why it's like, what the hell is going on? You
Yeah,
know? Because this would have been. You're right. I think, yeah, that's a valid point. We would have been in the same spot we are in anyways right now.
I think that's the way that people have to look at it. We're getting played, dude. Look, what you were talking about immigration. Look at this. Look at the game that they play.
Hmm.
Left versus right. When one is running the administration in control,
Hmm.
no one gets citizenship. They just have different angles. Different. They give you uh, an antagonist, a protagonist, and it's a game that they play. This side runs things this way, the other side runs things that way.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's the same result.
Hmm.
And we've got to stop playing that damn game. That's why, with Bianco saying what he said about, pathway to citizenship,
Hmm.
that's authentic. That's different. I'm curious to see, are both sides attacking him? Is the left and the right attacking him for that?
No, just the right, and it's the people that are all in for Hilton, pretty much. I mean,
Hmm.
because California, and this is like, because like, oh, he doesn't work with ICE. It's like, all right, first of all, you don't know how California works. Then, if that's your reason for being anti Bianco because he doesn't work with ICE, it's like California has sanctuary laws, meaning No police department, no sheriff department, no law enforcement can work and report illegal criminal aliens to ICE. Legally, they cannot do it. Anybody, not just Bianco. Um, if they do, I believe they can personally be criminally charged for calling ICE. So when Bianco says he's not working with ICE, it's not because he can't. Not because he can. He can't. The law doesn't allow him to do that. That's just California. And again, it's and when I was talking about the wrap up smear, it's like, you know, Hilton gives that to his people, and then you have people outside the state, Laura Loomer, Grant Stinchfield, and I forget who else. Then they're posting stuff, that the wrap up smear, right? You
Hmm.
you give them a lie, they regurgitate it over and over and over. Hilton's the Bianco's a rhino, this and that. He wants to give citizenship to all illegals. Like they just keep repeating it, and then a bunch of people just eat it up, and they get that lie that started over here because now all these reporters and independent thinkers are sharing what they were told to share,
Yeah.
and it's like people don't see that. Like I think that's why it's like going back to like the taking a break from doing all this is because I see that people are falling for the same playbook. Now it's on the opposite side, and they can't tell the difference. And then they get so what do you call it? Attached to
Emotional.
the guy and emotional, and
Hmm.
that's it. It's over. You know, there's no talking sense into anybody anymore. And I think that gets frustrating because after the 10 years that since Trump first got in office till now, it's like we should have learned that play already, but it's being used by your side now and you don't even see it. That's the frustrating part to me.
Yeah. Yeah. In addition to the frustration is that Bianco starts the conversation, right?
Hmm.
And we know that he doesn't have the authority to make that happen, right?
Hmm.
But what he's saying, it's about time, and he supports it. And what happens with that is that then other people start having the conversation because it's only common sense. It's a good policy.
Hmm.
It would That's something that would really help people that are an asset to this country. Um, and people just reject it. It's like, don't you
It's
get
be-
it?
it's because they're so on this side that it's like, oh, you want to give they make it bigger than what you're saying, right?
Mhm.
Like whatever nuance we're adding to it, like okay, let's say if we were to say got to be here 10, 15 years, got to show proof of work, not on government assistance, have something like where you got parameters that you're setting.
Mhm.
They ignore all that, dude, and it's like everything you just said right now, Danny. You want all illegal immigrants to have citizenship, and
Yeah,
that's what you get back. And it's like, again, what are we doing? That's why I was just I need a break because I'm you know I can't believe we're still doing this.
yeah. And you know what's crazy is that all these people that are falling for it is like, you know, they're they've been walking around going, yeah, you know, I got red pilled in, COVID, or I got red pilled in, 2015, 16 when Trump came in and stuff like that. And it's like, bro,
You just found another person to claim,
you
and now you're
you
jumping to the next one.
you got pink pilled. It's like not even a full, red pill. It's like, and it's
You're
like you
missing
need
a
to,
key ingredient.
yeah, it's like you got to take another one, man. It's like that pill's wearing off. You're falling for it again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy.
You
But
know,
I don't know. I'm just being honest. I'm being
yeah,
real.
yeah. No, same here. I don't like seeing that. And the thing too, it's like I could complain about people all day, I guess. Um, you know, people are still influenced by the people they like, right? And we could talk about Hilton and that shit too. It's like, a lot of people like Hilton because Charlie Kirk endorsed him on day one. And, from day one, I told you guys when I saw that, I was like, why did he endorse him? Like, he doesn't live in California. It's like, okay, it's his friend. Okay, fine. Say you're endorsing him because he's your friend, but don't endorse him because, how do you know he's the best solution for California? Like, people didn't decide. You endorsed him day one. We don't
Hmm.
even know what he's running on, you know? And it's like,
I mean, what are his qualifications? I mean, just because he's a, what was he, like a commentator on Fox or
he
something?
had his Fox News show. So I guess that makes him qualified. And he used to be an advisor to some politicians in the UK. And, again, you point that out to people that, like, okay, the guy he was advising um, voted for abortion up to 24 weeks. They're super anti gun in the UK. So, like, conservatism in the UK isn't the same as here.
Yeah,
Not at all. Um, you know, he's Steve Hilton has made videos and articles about him wanting asset reparations for black people to fix racism. That doesn't bother people as much as Chad Bianco kneeling. Like, there's no consistent standard from people because, like you said, it's just they're just locked into what they chose and what an influencer told them to support. And you can't say anything because, oh, Charlie was smarter than you. And it's like, okay, I'm not, you know, I can disagree with that decision. Just because Charlie endorsed Steve Hilton doesn't mean I'm going to. Just because Trump endorses Steve Hilton, not that he did yet, but if he did, that doesn't change my mind either. It's like I'm gonna decide for myself, and that's one of the main messages we've had to people from this platform. It's like decide for yourself,
hmm,
and I guess it gets frustrating when you see people aren't deciding for themselves, and they come at you with like, "Oh, because this guy said to do." It's like, okay, then don't talk to me.
yeah. That's the thing too, is that, remember we were talking about mainstream media,
Mhm.
just being propaganda, and I mean it was obvious, that that's what it was. Dude, we called it, is that um, social media now, influencers that we thought were independent,
Mhm.
they're no longer independent, man. They're parroting the same thing, same thing. It's bled over into social media,
Mhm.
and they're going hard, man. They're going hard, and people are falling right into it, just like they did back in the day with mainstream media.
Mhm.
I don't know if you see it that way, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's the way I see it.
That's how I see it.
Dude, when that this is upside down, when Alex Jones is calling someone else crazy, like unhinged. I mean, dude, and I admit, I've told you guys, um, I admit I listened to him way back in the day. He got a lot of stuff right, but it was out there, and it's still out there. But a lot of the stuff has come true. But this guy has no right to be calling anybody crazy or unhinged or anything like that. And that's when you know that there's something very wrong going on in social media, in the internets out there.
Yeah, man, it's weird because it's, it's like our side has become the side of uh, censoring speech or restricting speech,
Mm.
um, cancel culture, trying to cancel people for what they're saying. It's weird, dude, and people don't. I don't know. Again, it's their side, I guess. They don't see it.
Yeah. Hey, but what do we do? I mean, because I get this asked a lot, is like, okay, so if you say that the left and the right are basically, the same thing,
Hmm.
just, they go about it different ways. but the outcome that you get is always the same, is the point, right? So what do we do? Like, if I list my values, they fall under conservative values, right? And by default, that's the right, that's the Republican um, party.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do when our party doesn't even act like our party anymore?
That's the thing. I feel like people are just ignoring it. They don't, or they. I don't know. You're
Because
supposed to call it out. I would say call it out, question it.
Mhm.
Um, but it doesn't seem like that's the thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, things over time progress and they change. I understand that that's reasonable, but something like this, when there's certain values, um, I don't think that there should be that big of a change. Like, if you look at, have you been seeing the clip circulating, Hillary Clinton having speeches about immigration and stuff like that? Dude, she sounds more hardcore than Trump with what she's saying.
I
And that
saw
was, huh?
I saw one a few weeks ago.
And now look at where Democrats were there at that point and where they're at now. Super progressive. It's like it's not even the same party. And now Republicans, even from that point, you know, to having a really strong position on um, against abortion,
Mm-hmm.
being pro-life, right?
Mm-hmm.
To where we're at now, it's like now we're like the Democrats of old. I don't know, man. It's a trip.
It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. Because you know when we started Latino Free Minds, man, it was on a road trip to San Diego, and we were talking about, okay, let's finally do this. Um, and while we were there, we were watching the debate with Brian Dolly and Gavin Newsom. You know, and I remember people that were conservative because in that debate, Brian Dolly said something about, I think the term he used was reproductive rights, and people on the right, conservatives, took that as he was pro-abortion. So even then, they were wrong. They spinned it. That's why we left a certain group, and they told people not to vote. Right. So they encouraged people not to vote against Newsom of all people because Brian Dolly was in pro-life. You know, his what he said about reproductive rights, he wasn't pro-life. Now you go to Steve Hilton, who has tweeted that he is pro-abortion, right? With, even if you want to say with limits. It's like if you go back to 2022, that no, that was not acceptable.
Yeah,
But now you have some of those people that said that
supporting
support
it.
Steve Hilton. And again, you could tell him he was advising the guy that voted for 24-week abortions in the UK. Doesn't matter. Bianco kneeled to BLM.
Hmm.
It's like how fucking stupid. Like that's the frustrating part.
Yeah,
Like there's no consistency. There's no, that energy that was where you allowed Newsom to go unchallenged. That was what you were advising people to do, to now support the dude that is already stated he's pro-abortion, pro-reparations. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Or maybe I'm stupid, dude. Because Bianco kneeling to de-escalate things and not have a city burned like every other city was burning during the Floyd riots is less, because it was a 5 minute, whatever, however long it took. To me, that's less than a guy calling for reparations for racism from 400 years ago.
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe, again, maybe I'm stupid, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how people, if they're so anti BLM, but they're supporting the guy that's for reparations. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
missing something.
I don't know. Obviously, you're not stupid. I mean,
I think I am, dude.
it's common sense,
People are gonna clip that.
but I mean, you're right. That's the frustrating part. And I mean, what do we focus to keep our sanity, man?
Hmm.
That's kind of like what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, do do we talk about the left and right paradigm and how everybody's getting played? Um, you know, that that doesn't really serve a purpose for, people that are running to get elected for any given position.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the same time, these people that are running, or that are in political positions currently, they're freaking fake, and it's one of those things where we've been told by certain people, well, it's politics, and then you hear other podcasts and you go, well, that's politics. It's like, well, no, that's bullshit.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that.
No, I refuse to be one of the ones where, like, oh, it's politics, you got to play it that way. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's always been like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, that's why it's like, you know, I don't know. I don't see myself running for anything, but it's like
I
that's
think
why
I
it's
just
like fuck the
identified it.
hate.
I think I just identified it is that everybody's okay with politics being played the way that it's always been played, and
Mm-hmm.
we're not okay with that. That's the part where you go, where you're saying, am I stupid or something? And it's like, no, it's like you're not okay with the political environment and the culture and the rules that
Mm-hmm.
they play by. Like, it's not okay, it's not normal. That's
Mm-hmm.
fucking weird.
And it's like, and it's the same reason. Again, it goes back to why we started this, because it's still manipulation.
Yeah.
You're still getting manipulated, and this time it has the mask that you like. The mask that's not as scary is the one manipulating you now.
No, it
It's
should
like,
be the freaking scariest one because it should wake your ass up. It's easy to, point it out with the opposition, but when your side is starting to act like that again, then that should be scary. It's like, what the hell have I been supporting here?
mm-hmm,
Type of thing. I got played is what should be running through your mind.
mm-hmm.
And hmm,
I don't know. It's like that's like, man, it's like in a sense like, oh, you don't want to give up, right? You don't want to. In a sense, that's how I feel, right? I don't want to stop what I'm doing. Like I'll take a break, but I don't want to. I don't want to stop. I think, not to like sound egotistical or anything, but I think there's worth in what we do. You know,
mhm, mhm.
um, but
I mean, we're trying to figure stuff out live, on real time and stuff like that, trying to learn, decipher things. And look, this can easily bleed into what we started talking about from the very beginning is that but check out this connection. Evil people without morals
mm-hmm,
are going to rise in power and political positions,
mm-hmm,
and because they're not ethical, because they will do things that people with morals, good morals, would not do. And look at with the whole Epstein situation is that all of those people, high profile people or wealthy people, are in those files. They're in that community where they were working with Epstein or acquaintances or whatever the hell they had going on.
mm-hmm,
Is they were in those positions of power because they were doing the things described, with Epstein, as far as abuse, um, trafficking, really horrible things, and those are the type of people that rise to the power.
mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things that we should point out and talk about is let's not elect those damn people, back into their position.
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, I with all my heart, I believe that there's citizens out there that would do 1,000 times better at these political positions, you know,
Oh yeah.
as opposed to all these people that we've heard their names throughout
Years.
decades.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
is that there's people that would do a really good job. Can you imagine how good the country would run if we had term limits and all this corruption and these sick people weren't in those positions of power?
Mm-hmm.
This country would be great. And now that's the real MAGA. That
Yeah.
would be MAGA right there.
Yeah. That's make America great. You know.
Get these sickos out of their positions in
Mm.
politics.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that's not what we're doing.
no.
We're retracting. Hey, it's our administration.
Yeah.
You know, it's Trump's administration.
You know, you
It,
voted for this,
that we
but
voted
not
for this.
necessarily. Not like this.
You know, oh no, the government's going to collapse. It's all good. Yeah, for them,
Mm-hmm.
for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Someone else will step up again. I'll repeat it 1,000 times. There's other people out there that would do 1,000 times better job than these people.
Mm-hmm.
Get them the. Why are we bailing them out, dude? Fuck that. No more bailouts.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that 100%, man. It's it.
When they say the economy would fail, they're talking about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Their economy would fail.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No,
what
no,
was
no. You're good. That's true, man. That's a valid point. But kind of to what you said there, it's like we do have to, even though it seems like frustrating and all that stuff, like we still have to vote, right? We'd never tell people not to vote. But exactly what you said right now, it's like don't vote for these people over and over. You know, we have to be better because it goes back to what we said in the past. What's going on right now, you know, is our fault too because we
it is.
keep electing the same people over and over and over. Um, and nothing changes, right? Federally, same people, no term limits. Look where we are. California, locally, same deal. Just the other party. They vote for the same people over and over. Look where we are. And it's us doing the voting, right? So again, it goes back to like, okay, they should be passing the Save Act right away, but they're not. I don't know why. Whatever. But we can't continue to vote for these people. We still have to vote. We still have to participate. When we do know your candidate, it's not just to pass time. It's like we're really trying to get to know these people and seeing who's legit, who's sincere, who's genuine, and actually trying to help the American people, right? Because we have candidates that we can't even vote for, but they want to get into Congress where they're going to go and affect us either way federally. So we can't have our vote going to the people that are just going to continue the same old, same old. That
Yeah,
has to stop.
yeah. And dude, they continue to show us that they don't care about their constituents, dude. It's like they do it all the time. And I'm gonna be a broken record in saying that all the decisions that they make benefit the lobbyists that are buying them. Period.
Yep.
And they tell us all the things that we want to hear.
Yep.
And you know what? One thing for Hilton, just good to take it back. And we're just in California, so that's why we're talking about this. Um, is how how about Hilton talks about what qualifies him instead of talking about the opposition or smearing the opposition. When like when I have a job interview, like if I'm gonna go to a job interview, I don't talk about the person that I'm competing for the job. I talk about me, my abilities, what's my resume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And here we go, and we fall for this BS.
Yeah.
He's distracting you. And when I say he, again, it's because we're here in California. but politicians distract you. I'm kind of curious to see what does Bianco's campaign look like? Is he smearing anybody?
I
Is
would
he smearing
say
them?
no. I didn't see that. I see more of him defending himself now than smearing. Because the thing here in California, it's we could end up with there's so many Democrats running for governor that they're splitting the vote that we could end up with two Republicans, which would be, you know, a great scenario for November. It's like, in a
Yeah, but
sense.
what type of Republicans?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
got a Republican and then you got a Rhino. So it's like
yeah.
might as well be. I mean,
You know what I mean? Like you would think you keep the quote unquote Republicans until the end.
yeah.
Um, I've heard this, I joked around and I said Steve Hilton's a Democrat.
I think that's real. I
I
think
think
that's
that's real. Someone shared a clip today and they tagged us and shit. I accepted it because it came from his mouth. He said he's probably worse, not worse. Well, he's worse than Bernie. So he said he's a level above Bernie himself. He called himself that. So it's like, look, I've said Steve Hilton's Democrat. When Bianco didn't go to that debate, one of the first things I said was, yeah, because he's not a Democrat. That's why Steve Hilton's there. And that's another thing people use. Well, Chad missed the debate. It's like, dude, the debates that matter that are coming up next month that are going to be on TV for all Californians, he's going to be there. But these little random debates, little random events that people put together and candidate forums, those aren't debates. It's just where you're supposed to go and do what Danny said is tell me why I got to vote for you. What's your achievements? What are you going to do? Not to go bash people, right? And that's the thing that he did, Hilton, in that debate with all the Democrats. Instead of just, I think I could have won that debate. Dude, anybody with two brain cells could have won a debate with six Democrats. And instead of just hitting on that, he started attacking Bianco there. That's where it all started, and it was, in line with some his name popping up somewhere allegedly. So I think that's why that happened too. I think it was just deflection. But uh, it's I don't know. It's a lot. I'm noticing a lot of the media playbook that was used in the past against candidates, that we would say, oh, we liked in the past, is happening by the guy that's supposed to be on our side. I don't know, dude. I don't like it. And again, it's like you can't question him again. And it goes back to a lot of people. It's because, oh, Charlie Kirk endorsed him, you know? And it's like, and now what I don't like is he campaigns and he brings up Charlie. Now it's like, well, now you're just using his name to manipulate the people that get manipulated easily by influence. You know what I mean? Or easily influenced. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, Gio.
I'll add him right now. Let me see. But yeah, man, I don't know. I kind of went on a little.
No, I mean it's relevant to what we were talking about, so it's all good. Um, yeah, I really don't understand why people are getting played once again. But anyways, um, it's part of the theater, and as long as I'm not the one getting fooled, I guess I'm okay with it. I just say, other people that call themselves intelligent. Here's the other thing too, though, is that I was gonna joke around and say, you know what, they should make part of these debates is a lie detector test right then and there. It's like, we would find out who is a real conservative and a real socialist or progressive or whatever, with a lie detector test,
Yeah.
live at the debates. And giving the results right then and there too. It's like you don't have to wait for those results in a week. It's like on a big screen that just says lie or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know how much, Gio. How much of that did you catch?
I was listening to the whole show.
Okay.
Fucking pressing. You know what? Uh, I'd like to start off by saying, uh, certain candidate can suck my nuts.
This will-
Um, you know what? I'm his backers, the people that love him. Um, you guys got to dig, man. Seriously, the stuff that I see is it's obvious, right? The clips where the Young Turks
yeah.
um, got him to say that he was a populist, and that's the thing. This is what I started doing today, guys. When people say, "Oh, I want the good conservative," I tell them, "Well, you seem to be voting for the populist, the self-proclaimed populist. Populist just blows with the wind. Populist is like whatever people think sounds good right now. I'm just gonna flow that way. All right.
Mhm.
I want somebody that's firm, not firm with the party. Because Danny, I'm tired of going with the flow. I'm sick of MAGA, and I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about the three-time voter of Donald Trump. I'm not talking about the person that thought, "Hey, we're going to close up the borders. We're not going to go to war. We're going to these policies. We're going to feel like we got all this money now." That's not MAGA today. MAGA today is like, "Hey, let's go to war. Uh, if there's a dictator out there, let's go after him. Let's make all these little excuses." Uh, I I feel for the people in Iran in the aspect of, yeah, they were being oppressed. A lot of them have been killed in the last few weeks. I understand that, but why is that our responsibility as Americans?
Well, they
You
keep
know,
telling us that they're a threat to us, that they want to kill us. They've been wanting to kill us for 47 years.
have they?
Mhm. Well, then
They
BB,
chant it. Supposedly they chant it. So
yeah, BB
You,
said they were close to a weapon in 1996. So they probably were almost there. That's why we did it today, not today,
yeah,
and
but recently.
30 years later, 29 years later,
The definition of close for me and BB is obviously different.
yeah.
yeah. To me, it's a psyop. That's what it is. We're being told one thing, and is it the truth? I really don't think so. But I'm not an intelligence officer. I don't know all the details. They're giving us these little threats like, "Oh well, California, you're gonna get hit with drones." I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Come
I saw
on,
that
man,
yesterday.
come on! You really think where are these drones gonna come from? They're gonna fly over the Pacific Ocean?
Yeah.
What are they gonna come down from Russia? They're gonna skip over Washington, Oregon, and come straight to California."
Hey, Gio. Some
Yeah.
some people have given stand down orders, maybe allegedly.
Stand down orders to what? What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know. We should watch Charlie Kirk. He had some
Hey,
good questions.
but going back to the Charlie Kirk thing, he didn't. He wasn't in favor of attacking and invading or being involved with Iran. So
Yeah.
that these people that like to use him to prop up whatever their position is, conveniently now that he's no longer with us, have to remember everything that he did say. If you're going to use that, I would like to think that we're independent thinkers, and if someone had an opinion, like Charlie Kirk had an opinion about many different things, I'm okay with disagreeing with him
Yeah.
on several of those things and agreeing on several of other things. So it's okay. So don't hold that over our heads like we're supposed to um, just comply
Yeah,
because he agreed.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like we've become the side that isn't asking questions now. It has to shut up and just shut up and
Wait a
take the bat.
minute.
You know
You,
what I mean? Like, what's the difference?
when did we stop being Latinos cheap minds? How come we're not following an order, guys?
Yeah, you got the wrong
I
game.
guess we're just being true to what we're saying is like we're free. We're not going to just comply to whatever one side is leaning
You,
on.
you,
It or
you know,
telling us we should be.
earlier you guys talked about immigration, and the overwhelming sense that I get online about immigration is that get all the illegals out because that is the mandate that we gave Donald Trump. Well, let's talk about mandates. When I voted for Donald Trump, and I think when the majority of people voted for Donald Trump, we gave the mandate that we didn't want to go to war. Or was that just me? I felt like all of the supporters of Donald Trump were like, you know what? We didn't have wars the first time. Yeah, there were some strikes when ISIS started coming out again. We went in, and within a couple weeks, they were gone, obliterated off the face of the earth, as Donald Trump put it. And I was okay with that because they were actually threatening to come here. They've been doing it for years. Iran, I don't know. You
No, but
know,
let's not get it mixed up either. Because when I voted um, for MAGA, you know, I voted to shut down the border, right?
Hmm.
I did
Deport
too.
all the bad ones. But that means that we can have a conversation about a pathway to citizenship. That doesn't mean that. And see, that's the games that they play.
No, Danny, that's not right. Don't say that. Don't. We can't give an amnesty out,
That's where it goes,
bro.
Danny. That's exactly where it goes. What Gio just did is literally what you get from people online.
Yeah. I mean, and that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, as long as, you know, uh, we don't proclaim to know everything. The only thing that we are saying is that, you know, we've got free minds, and, we're going to make up our own opinions on as things unfold. And I want everybody that goes straight to that, which, I mean, they're not going to listen to this, is that really think about it. Are you being influenced, or are you really a free thinker?
Mm-hmm.
The more people put words into my mouth and claim that I want amnesty, you know, oh, he wants a path to citizenship. That means he wants amnesty. No, it could mean that we give visas out, work visas. It could mean that we give out, not to everybody, obviously. We give residency to people. We improve the immigration system so that people can become legal. And as you start that process up, as you get people going through the system, you get to start background checking. And when flags come up, sorry, not sorry, you're getting deported because you have a criminal history. And isn't that what we wanted? We wanted to get rid of the criminals, but instead we want to no deport them all. So now everybody's in hiding. We have states and cities that are sanctuary locations where the police are not allowed to comply, and that's the other thing that they say against Chad Bianco. Well, he doesn't want to work with ICE. When did he ever say that? When did he say he didn't want to work with ICE? He can't. His hands are tied behind his back. Danny said it
Yeah,
earlier.
you see, but when we do that, we start falling into the same arguments. That's exactly where they want us.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where they want us.
So we just continue to talk about it instead of talking about the things that are relevant. So if someone comes and tells me something like that, and I go, okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but is someone allowed to start a conversation as well? That would be my rebuttal. I'm like, that's what we've been saying all this time, is that I know that he doesn't have the authority to do it, but someone has to start the conversation. So Let's start the conversation. If you don't want to listen to it, then that's on you. But I'm going to tell you one thing too, is that I'm sick and tired of people that do not know what the struggle is with the illegal immigrants from Latin America, Mexico, specifically because that's, where our parents are from or our family is from. Um,
Right.
is that you don't get to tell us what we should think or should do or anything like that. We know what the struggle is. We know people that have been here, are an asset to this country,
Right.
that worked their asses off and contributed to this country. So you don't get to tell me what to think about, and it goes both ways. You don't get to tell me that, we're stupid and we can't get an ID so that we can vote.
Mhm.
You don't have the right to tell me that either. It's like, I don't need anybody speaking up for my parents, my grandparents, for me, for my uncles, aunts, cousins,
I
because
agree.
we know what the real struggle is. We know what the people go through, and I'm sick and tired of it. And then when we start engaging into those arguments, think about it. If we were to take, we've been going for an hour. If we get to take the time that we have been talking about the stupidness in the dumb arguments that they present to us that don't make any sense, it's wasted time. It's like
It
five
is.
minutes of wasted time. It's like, and that's exactly what they want, because they want us to argue about that. And then the people that comment, with regurgitating the same old talking points when we're trying to make a relevant point that it's composed out of common sense, that's exactly what they want. Instead of that getting 5 minutes of attention and actual conversation, meaningful conversation, nope. It's, a smearing, talking shit, talking down.
Hmm.
It's like what we were talking about. Let's really pay attention to Hilton's ads and Bianco's ads. I want to see, who's talking about their resume. I'm really interested on that now.
Uh, uh, an interesting point that you just brought up, because you asked Daniel earlier, and the answer to this, you had asked him, well, is Hilton out there speaking bad on Hilton or Bianco? And the reality is that he is. He has, and at the Democrat debate that he went to, and Bianco skipped out on them, and the reason Bianco skipped out on it was because he was with his granddaughter. His daughter had had a baby. So to me, that's a pretty good excuse. You got to spend time with your family. Um, at the debate, he brought up the kneeling, and it's like, okay, you're bringing up something from 5 years ago. Now Bianco, or excuse me, Hilton gets to have the excuse of, oh, those clips are all from 5, 10 years ago. So is the kneeling. Like, you want to use that against Hilton? Why can't they use that against? Excuse me. They want to use that against Bianco. Why can't you use that against Hilton? It doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
Uh, it's like the whole rules for thee and not for me situation. It goes both ways,
Yeah,
and
it goes back
and
to
the smart people,
Mhm.
Danny, Daniel, is are those people that will say, guys, why are we fighting each other? We have two Republicans in the race. How many Democrats are there? The more we beat each other down, the higher their numbers go, the worse we look. Had Hilton not come out and beat Bianco over the head with the kneeling, they'd probably both be around 25%. That's my opinion. I think a lot of the undecided people are looking at it like, man, why would I vote for one of these guys? They're people who don't even get. It's like voting for Donald Trump. They just can't get along with anybody. I can't vote for that. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, it's it goes back to just people not being consistent, right? Having that consistency of, if you're gonna hold something from the past against one candidate but not the other, then
Hmm.
what again goes back to what are we doing? So you either drop the whole kneeling thing because you got stuff from their past that I told Danny, calling for reparations to me is worse than kneeling. That's just my
Well,
how I that's like, but you know what I mean. But again, he could say, "Oh, I did that in 2019 or 2020."
oh, well, they did. So we had somebody in our group you mentioned earlier that made a video, and everybody's been attacking it, right? Because she called out the fact that Hilton's wife has not been on the campaign. Bianco's wife is there with them almost every day. So we, as you know, as a representative of her team, we called her out, right? We called out the wife, and everybody goes in like, no, you can't go. She's working for a major organization. It's a conflict of interest, and I'm like, wait a minute, what do you work for HR? Because if you did, you would know that in the state of California, you can't go after somebody for politics. They can for somebody that's higher up, like his wife is somehow. Uh, you can ask her to not make certain statements. You can tell her, like, if you go out and say these things, people are going to think it's the opinion of the company. But they can't say, "Hey, you can't stand next to your husband."
Mm-hmm.
It, you can't do that. That's the spouse.
And I think a lot of people miss the point of that clip, right? Because then you got people like, "Well, I'm not voting for her." It's like, look, we're not saying you're voting for the wives. We're saying is the wives have influence over their husband. Just
Dan
look at Newsom,
Daniel,
like,
it's such bull. It's such bull. You want to know how I know it's bull when they say something like that? We're not voting for the wife. Meanwhile, within the last week, everybody was beating Mandami's wife because she had posted some things in her past. So wait a minute. We can go out and go after the Democrats, but we can't go after the Republican. Again, we need to be fair with the way that we behave and the way that we act towards certain people. If we're gonna hate against somebody, then it better go both ways. It better go in all directions. You can't talk about Mandami's wife if we can't bring up Hilton's wife. Makes no sense.
Yeah, but we start falling into that same trap. It's like, why are we talking about any of that? I want to, what's their resume? I mean, when I go to do into a job interview, do I
Hmm.
include my wife in my damn resume? It's like, no. I want to
Well,
be, I want, and you get, I mean, if my wife is there to, I'm running for public office. My wife is there to support me. It shows that we're a family unit that's united.
that
More
was the point of the video.
we
yeah.
have conservative values. I get that,
Mm-hmm.
but when we get stuck in this paradigm again, it takes away from an actual real conversation about
To
it.
me, Danny, you don't even have to give up portray that you're conservative. I don't care what his wife's politics are, but just show that you support your husband. Because the last thing I want out of my governor is to find out that he's having marital issues, he's not getting along with his wife because he's conservative and she's the liberal. Like, I need him focused. I need to know that she's there, willing to support him and to take care of the family things. And I get that there's some people that say, well, she's taking care of her kids. Yeah, but what about your husband? Your wife's a wife's for not I wasn't I almost said the first duty. Your first duty is to God, but after that is your husband. Are we not conservatives? Are we not God fearing?
Well, that's what I was referring to. I mean, when you're running for public office, if your wife is next to you, more than likely,
Mm-hmm.
you got conservative values as far as support goes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not to say that, if your wife can't make it, that doesn't mean that either. I'm just saying it looks like it. It gives that optics, it gives that illusion.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
to go back to my original point, is like, I want to see the resume.
Yeah, yeah,
What qualifies you? You see what I'm saying? It's like, look, we've had people tell us, and I'm going to repeat it again, tell us that that's politics. Just roll with it. No, I don't want to roll with it. I don't like the look.
hmm,
At what point, I would like to know in history, what point politics turned into this? Because there's no way that in the beginning, politics was about this. And these were the rules of politics.
yeah. No,
At some point, it had to do with what you have accomplished in your professional career that qualify in what your accomplishments were in your professional career and what your values are is what determined if you were going to do a good job and people would select you to take that position. That's what we need to get back to, and that's something that had to have existed before the game of politics.
Right.
What
Right.
when they say that's politics,
yeah.
it's like
There's no way we would have ended up with the Constitution if politics was what it is today.
bingo, bingo.
And
So whoever scripted
and
and
that's a
made it
great
up
point.
needs to go get slapped.
And to Danny's point, well, what are the resumes? How can you prove to me that you are the best candidate to choose from? What are your ideas? Now, I have to admit, Hilton has some nice ideas. I feel like he's been thinking about these things for a long time. You mentioned Danny a few months back that he has a book where he's been sitting on these ideas. But to me, it's the populist approach to a lot of these things. Yeah, when you come out and you say that you want to take care of the women of the night, you want to make sure that the trafficking situation in Los Angeles and in overall California is taken care of, and you guarantee it. Well, yeah, it's like you hear us saying that we're sick of it, but you didn't really say how you were going to take care of it. You say, well, here's what I'm going to do with your taxes. Anybody that's making less than $100,000 is not going to pay taxes. There's not going to be income taxes. Well, you didn't say how you were going to do it, but I've been listening to Bianco also. I listen to both. For the people that just think that I'm not, I do, because my decisions are not made on uh, if Daniel says we're going Bianco, we're going, no, we're free minds. I'm going with my reality. And I like when Bianco came out and said, yeah, we don't want to have income tax, period. And how's he going to do it? We're going to turn the oil industry around here in California. We're going to start drilling. We do a much better job here in California than they do overseas. And we are not going to have these ships that are polluting our planet, bringing that oil to us. And if we bring our own, if we're using our own oil, maybe even exporting some oil if we have excess, then all that money, not only are we energy independent, but all that money goes into the state instead of our money going out to the Middle East or to South America, over to the Caribbean. No, or the Gulf of America, excuse me. No, it's our money. We're using our resources.
Mhm.
We're we
Yeah,
have
No,
enough.
and look,
Yeah,
there's
go ahead.
a different side to that too. Okay,
Yeah,
look, we point out the fraud in California. That's our tax dollars, our
mhm,
tax dollars. Um, you know, all the money that we get taxed and it goes to foreign countries.
right.
And I know one is federal, one is here for the state. But look, what I'm trying to say is that we're getting taxed up the ass, and we've got nothing to show for. That money is just being used for something else. It's not being used for our benefit here in California. So I would start with that. Cut the waste.
mhm.
Give me. I was going to say, give me my money back. Well,
Don't
stop
take my
taking
money.
my money.
Yeah,
Take my
Yeah.
money.
Oh,
How about that?
yeah,
Because it's going to waste. I wish
yeah.
someone would come out and say truthful things like that. Because I'm going to tell you one thing right now, and this is my personal opinion, and this is on based in what I've seen happen for as long as I've been alive. Every politician is a populist because they
Hmm.
tell you what you want to hear, or one side of the party that they want to hear, and then that shit goes out the window when they get elected. They're
Yeah.
all populists.
Yeah,
They're all populists.
it's a
I
good,
want to see one that isn't a populist.
it's a good point. Well,
Yeah, because
That's
you know, and it's true. A lot of people would say, "Well, Donald Trump doesn't change his opinion."
why
Yeah,
he
well,
has.
he certainly did on immigration. Because one day there was one day where he was like, "Yeah, we're going to make sure that people in the was it the hotel industry and in agriculture."
yeah,
Hmm.
And then the next, all of MAGA came out online and gave him hell about it. So he came back out and was like, "Yeah, no, we're deporting everybody." Like, don't be soft on it.
He changed his mind about Epstein.
yeah.
Mm.
Mm, mm,
Oh, dang.
yeah.
Well, Danny, why you got to bring that up? That
No,
doesn't even
Chris.
exist.
Oh man.
We still
It,
talking about that? Fuck.
There's
she.
nothing even there.
Well, I'll say this because I gotta go.
Me too.
If you didn't like this conversation today, you're not gonna like the next three. We got Bobby Sauce, Ian Wynn, and Ian Smith. If you don't like what we said, you're not gonna like what they gotta say. I'll just leave it at that. Um, yeah, man. It, you
Who do we have on primetime?
um, let's see. Bobby is Wednesday. Ian is Thursday. So maybe you jump on Thursday with us for with Ian, and Ian Smith is Wednesday. They chose the Wednesdays. Sorry, Gio.
No, you're good. It's just you said next time you see us, next time you see me, I'll be on with Christian, and we're gonna be having some fun. You want to have some fun? Tune in to primetime on Tuesday, 7 o'clock.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Peace be with you.
Peace be with
God
you.
bless. Read those resumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.